Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Thursday, April 24th, 2014, and the Dow was up a whopping 0.48 points today. Whoa. Basically unchanged. So it didn't do anything. Last 2 days, look how tight this is. Now, this got a little bit wider today, but the tightness is still here. I'm drawing a little head and shoulders pattern in here because I think it's a realistic possibility that this thing could turn around and come right on down. You never know, but it sure hasn't been pushing the last couple of days. Let's see, I don't think the indicators really, I'm taking a quick glance in here. Again, the ADX, I kind of highlight the ADX over here by itself, took it away from this area and put it out here in its own chart. And it's just flat, like we talked about. We're not even getting any movement at all on this thing. So there's just, as we can tell, no trend going on. There hasn't been any trend going on. We're just going sideways. So, all right, the S&P 500, it was, let's see, up 3.2 points today, and I don't know, it's kind of hard. A little bit of the same type of action. Now again, it doesn't have as clear a head and shoulders type top as the Dow was looking at. We went deeper in here, bounced back. We haven't gone to new highs. So again, we're just in this watching mode. All the action is in the stocks, the individual stocks. Now, the thing that I find interesting on the NASDAQ and the Russell is there's still, even with all the NASDAQ, even with the Apple move and everything that happened today, we did not go to a higher high than this high right here, 41.85. The intraday high today, 41.77. So, we are still in the lower highs deal, in lower lows. So we are still in a solid downtrend, and it hasn't broken out of that yet. So that's what we're watching. And Russell 2000, same thing. It did not go to a higher high. Now, even if it does go to a higher high, that just tells you that, okay, the pattern's kind of possibly changing. And, then we're on watch for a turn that's, starting to trend the other way, but we're not even getting that indication yet. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so let me see here. I think, the other one I wanted to throw in, I talked about this last night. This is Russia again, okay? And I remember how I said, well, we get a head and shoulders pattern, consolidation pattern. This could indicate that some activity, something's going to happen in Ukraine. Well, what did we find out today? Well, Ukraine is starting to take a little more action. They're trying to unseat the pro-Russia, I don't know if you'd call them rebels or whatever you want to call them, that are in Crimea, in that area in there. And now Russia's saying, hey, you guys keep it up and we're coming in, or they're threatening to come in. So this thing is still really sizzling over there, and this is threatening to, if you look at this action, we got more downside coming based on the way this looks with the Russia stock market. So, the real question is, at what point does this ripple over and start to hurt us? Okay, let's take a look at some of the market ETFs real quick. The home builders, you look at the trend that the home builders have been in since mid-February, clear downtrend in here. It shouldn't be surprising that the other day we had a very disappointing new homes report, and it was like the lowest level, I can't remember, in months or a year or something like that, and it surprised everybody. It was well below expectation. Well, look what the home builders have been telling us for the last almost 2 months. And the semiconductors today, this was interesting because Xilinx, which I'll talk about in a minute, really got hammered. And I thought that maybe some of the other semiconductors would be, but they didn't on the index, on the CTF. But this looks like a hanging man to me, which is a potentially negative pattern, candlestick pattern. So we'll have to watch this and see. The other thing is, in this move up in here, the volume really dropped off, okay? So this move to higher highs, except for this last day, and this is not exactly a bullish looking candle. This is bullish looking candle where the closes are well above the highs. This is not a bullish looking candle to me. Okay, and the last one is the financial ETF. This one came down. I had a little bit of a little head and shoulders in here. Shoulder, head, and shoulders. We had this neckline. It broke down through, came down to here. I drew another trend line. We haven't rolled over yet. And you could actually make the case we've just pulled back to that neckline. You extend that neckline on out, and that's what we pulled back to today on an intraday high, and then closed back. I guess we were down 0.01, so basically almost unchanged. So need to watch this on the financial indices or financial stocks. All right, let's quickly move over to CREE. We're going to look at technology stocks tonight. Haven't looked at them in a long time. CREE is broken down, had real bad earnings or disappointed earnings or something the other day. I didn't actually follow the specific report and announcement, but big gap down, and it broke this lower support line in here. And when I look at this picture, this looks like a big trading range that it now broke out of. And so my indication is that this trading range will then be, that'll be the extent of the next move. So if that's the possibility, it's interesting that that brings you down right to the top of this gap, and it may actually go in and fill the gap. Because it's not a whole lot more to go, another three points beyond that. So that's going to be something to watch and see if we can get a move. I'll be watching to see if we get a pullback that might make sense to jump on board for a move to the downside. Next one is Citrix Systems. Now this one had a big move today to the upside, so in the totally opposite direction. And what looks like potentially is forming here, again, could be a complex head and shoulders bottom. I see two shoulders. I had this neckline drawn. I've drawn this for quite a while. There's just not been any play that I've gotten excited about. And it's not the prettiest head and shoulders, but if the symmetry holds, then what I would say about this picture is that we would get another pullback in here to kind of mirror this other shoulder in here. Now the symmetry has really been pretty good in here. Notice how you had to move to the neckline, then you had a little rally and you sold off. And this neckline move, and just like this, it really kind of mirrored it. The symmetry is almost perfect in here. You get this pullback on the shoulder, you get the pullback here, and you got two shoulders. So I'll be looking to see if we get another pullback for another shoulder in here. And we'll be watching this one. F5. Where is F5? F5 Networks. This one, boy, talk about taking out the stops today. It opened way up here at 112.84. That was the exact high for the day. And then it just sold off for the whole rest of the day and all the way down for a low of 104. So I don't see any, this looks really choppy. I don't see any specific play in here other than this is a pretty negative move. I don't even see a nice trend line to draw. So we'll just have to see if something else develops. Now Racks, on the other hand, Rackspace looks like a descending triangle to me. Okay, and it broke out of it, came back, closed back up in it, but now is trying to break on down, I think. And if the way you make the move projection out of this is to do a parallel line to this line and take it from the beginning of the triangle and shoot it on down. And so this would be the projection as to where an estimate of where the move might go on this. I don't have a trade idea specifically on this one. We'll just have to watch to see again if there's some kind of little pullback that develops. But that's the picture on Rackspace. Now, one I do have a trade idea on is Seagate Technologies. I think this just broke a trend line. I think we're in a big corrective mode. It broke this trend line. We got to close below the 10, and I'm looking for an entry point down in below here, and I will have the specifics on the Trade Ideas webpage for this. But I think this is getting ready to head south. And last, I just wanted to kind of update you guys on Xilinx. We've been in this as a trade idea, and today it finally came on down. Right in here, I got out a half of my position. That was my initial target, was right in here, and I'm holding the other half for a while. I may get out at the head and shoulders target because I think this is a possible head and shoulders. So I'm probably going to set this as the next target to get rid of half, 46.5. So that's it on Xilinx, and have a great Friday, everyone. Tweet this, share this, and we'll talk to you this weekend. Thanks for stopping by. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart.